Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Well, in today's video, I am going to talk about my M140i and my YouTube experience with it. And maybe I should remove this hanger. Voila. And my YouTube experience with the car compared to my 114i, and asking myself the question, did I actually make a mistake buying the M140i and selling the 114i? And probably you would think like, are you crazy? Why would you even, doubt that? And it's not, not in the way that you would think, because personally, like personal use experience, the M140i is miles, a lot of miles ahead of the 114i. It's basically the same chassis, the same interior, with a superior engine, which is way more reliable. I have way less trouble with this car than with the 114i. It packs a punch. It is so stupid fast. My 114i was a decent daily, but this is just stupid fast for a little hatchback. So yeah, personally, I never look back. I mean, this car is my dream car. I mean, I also would like an M2 competition, but I wouldn't sell this car for an M2 competition. This is a car that I've been talking about for years, like literally years. And now that I have it, for a while actually now, I think, 1 year and a half almost, I'm still a very happy person. I really love this car. I love it. It's perfect for me. It's still very moddable, and yeah, I'm a big fan. But you may have noticed that I actually make a lot less content around this car than I did on the 114i. And that's why I'm talking about a mistake, because I think that personally the 114i was the better car for YouTube content. And let me explain a little bit further why. The B58 is a very capable engine, and most people in the car world know that by now. And there are a lot of B58 builds on YouTube, and also a lot of M140i builds. And a lot of these guys are way better in edits than I am. For example, Brad Barnes, you all know him. His edits and camera work are really, a million times better than mine. So I get why he gets a lot more views. But he's basically doing the same build on the same car. I mean, we have differences, but he's basically also doing an M140i build. And there are still other YouTubers, Hampshire Photos actually had one. He sold it recently. And then some other guys also, the guy with the full M2 front, bright blue one, I forgot his name, who rebuilds all the wrecked cars. I think Matt Armstrong is his name. So a lot of M140i builds on YouTube, and I get that mine isn't the most special. It's really not that special compared to these other builds. It's just it's an average M140i build. Okay, it's nothing super special. It doesn't make crazy power. I haven't done something extraordinary with the looks. It's just OEM plus car. And the 114i was actually much more rare on YouTube as this car. I mean, there are barely any 114i builds, and also it was a more accessible car. So actually a lot more people have that car as an M140i. So a lot more people could relate to the 114i than the M140i. I think more people watch this car build as in, oh man, M140i is cool, I love to watch it. And the 114i was more as, I have this car, I can also do this build. So basically that. So the audience, I think, is a little bit different. And also, I make less videos because I used to do some shenanigans with the 114i on the road. And then I had my problems with the cops because of that. And now I don't do that anymore as much. So yeah, that also made a difference, because I can tell you I have raced some epic cars with this one. I just never show it because, yeah, I don't want another letter from the cops, because those Those races were never in Belgium, by the way. Also, always in other countries, but those cops can also see it. And I don't want that. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I'm thinking that the 140i was actually a better build to do for YouTube. Not for personal experience, because I had way more issues with that car as with this one. This one is actually pretty reliable. But yeah, and also the 140i, because I'll show you a clip right now. The 140i, when I bought it stock-wise, it was just a very stock, regular looking 1 Series. Like you see all the time, every day, any day. And making that car visually into what it was at the end of my build is also a very fun thing to do. Like my M140i already stock came with an M package, angel eyes, and actually cool rims and lowering springs when I bought it. So yeah, I still visually modified it to make it even more aggressive. But to be honest, this car was way more complete as it came. I mean, I have the M interior stock, I have the angel eyes stock, I had black kidney grills stock, the M bumpers I had already, dual exhaust. So this car came with a lot more standard equipment as the 140i. So I couldn't do the retrofits, so I couldn't make content around that, because doing the angel eyes and the M bumper swaps are one of the better watched videos of my channel. So there was actually less content to make on this car as on the 140i. Because I couldn't do those small things like I did on the 140i, and they don't have that much of a great effect, because, not to sound arrogant, but this car looks a lot better stock as the 140i, and the things that I do to visually modify it don't have that much of an impact on the looks as I did with the 140i. And the performance of the M140i stock is already pretty decent. I mean, 340 horsepower, and they actually are a little, higher rated. And the sound is all, it's nothing special. But really, this car stock is already a pretty good fast car. And the 140i was a slow third. And making the 140i in something that wasn't a slow third, in something that could handle a Golf 7 GTI in a small drag race, was actually a lot of fun. Making a slow, boring looking car in a decently quick, good looking one was a really fun experience. And now I'm actually making a good looking fast car in an even better looking faster car. So it has less of a wow effect as the 140i did, I think personally. Because when I show before and after pics of this car, people say, okay, you've done the basic thing that most people do. You add the maximum design kit, different wheels, and you lower it a little bit. Like 99% of the F20 owners do that. But when I say, like, hey, here's my F20, my 140i, it had no MPAC or angel eyes, it came like this. Yeah, then people are like, oh, you actually done a lot of stuff. Pretty nice. That's also a difference. So yeah, so that's why I think for YouTube, the 140i actually was the better car to build. And like I said, I've done many things on this car already, like I did before. But also a thing is, actually, parts were cheaper for the 140i. So this is a more serious build. And I haven't completed the build on the 140i before I sold it. But when I do things on this car, it is less parts but more money. And also, things became more expensive since Corona happened. But just let's say, tuning this car with a bigger turbo is a lot more expensive than what I did with the 140i, right? This car I'm saving up for an LSD. It's over 2,000 euro. Oh, light, where are you going? Stay with me. So I do more high quality, better looking high performance parts with this build, but instead of getting 10 cheaper parts, I get 5 expensive parts. And like I said, I earn decently, okay? But I don't earn that crazy much money that I can build a complete car in 6 months. So I have to save up for my modifications. And when I have something bad happen, like, a few months ago, one of my kittens died, unfortunately, and we had very high vet bills to try to save her, and I paid over, my girlfriend and I paid 1,200 euro, to try to save her. that's a big chunk of the money. And also, I recently had to pay my road tax for this car, which is €900. I feel that, so I know I can pay it up that month, but I don't have to do something crazy otherwise, because I still have my own, costs, living costs. So yeah, I mean, if I were a rich guy, then yeah, it would be way easier to do all this crazy stuff, and I would just buy an LSD this month, and a KW suspension that month, and a turbo upgrade next month, and then after 6 months, I would have a crazy build. But this build takes a little bit longer, because owning this car is way more expensive as 140i, and the parts are also way more expensive. So, and I want to bring quality content, and not just like, hey, I changed this. Ta-da, done. So yeah, I mean, I haven't done any modifications on this car for like 4 months already, but I have parts laying around. So soon, but I'll make a separate video on that, but soon we'll have more parts and modifications coming around. But I'm going to do something to the suspension, and I need 3 parts for that. Also not cheap, and I already have 2 of the 3 parts paid for and laying around, so there are there. But when I get my next payment, I'll buy the latest part, and then we're going to install the parts and do everything and make a nice video. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's also, I think, buying the M140i for YouTube, I'm not sure if it was the right decision. Buying the M140i personally was the best decision I ever made. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? We'll see. But yeah, this build isn't finished yet. We still have a lot of content to shoot, modifications wise, and I hope to do some drag races soon again, so I can shoot that content. And yeah, we'll see. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave you, because probably a lot of people have skipped already, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.